I knew was gonna go eventually was the trolling motor on this kayak. About halfway through the day on Lake Rochelle, I was in some shallow water, chucked the old chatterbait up in the grass, and it got all kinds of hung up in there. Put stuff on in there, started unhooking it, started backing out, and I noticed when I put the motor in reverse, it started jumping like crazy. It has jumped before if I'm in some real shallow water and it's in the prop get caught up in some weeds, paddle out, turn it back on, breaks the weeds off, good to go. This time around was a little different. My motor back here is not working anymore. Just dies. I have 1 week until our first tournament on the Harris chain. You probably noticed that these kayaks behind me is that there's 2 of them. It's a tandem trailer. The other boat on there is actually my brother's. Dan has finally gotten his own trailer, and we're also gonna be doing an upgrade to my trailer. I can get it back to a single trailer. This motor is going bye-bye, and I'm really excited to try this new trolling motor that I just got yesterday. Right now, we just gotta get all the old wiring out, all the cables, all that garbage that's in this kayak right now with this old motor right here. Get this old motor off. Let's see how this next week goes, and I'm gonna bring you guys along with me and start tearing this thing apart. Goodbye. 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 Got the boat stripped out of all the old wiring. It's ready to go for new wiring, new pedals, new propulsion. The back's gonna be interesting because the way that the big rig is designed on the back here is that it's meant for a micro pole anchor to go right through here. So that's why these mounting holes are here. And then you got these these ridges here, and then it had a rudder. But obviously it doesn't have the rudder no more. Or that could have been for the rudder too. I don't really know. What I'm gonna have to do is build a bracket that's gonna fill in this area and bolt into the standard holes that it's got here. Then I have to build it up and have it sticking out to about this section here, pretty much right to the end. And then I'm gonna have to have 2 other bolts right here to hold the trolling motor mount. It's gonna go right about here. I'm gonna have to call and get something made. Not just waiting on Dan to offload his Bonafide, and then I can get back here and start taking this boat off of this trailer. Let's go. All right, so we're on day number 2 here. We just got back, ran to the store, grabbed some stuff, take the kayak off of the trailer here, and then what came in was my new battery. New power source, real exciting. First, we gotta get this kayak off, get all this stuff dismantled while it's raining. Let's get after it. Well, now I'm gonna just have to wait till the storm passes. So last night, you know, it was raining pretty much all day yesterday, so I couldn't touch anything with the trailers. We were so productive enough to get all the wiring done, all the electrical done on the boat. Got the battery fit. It fits good. The thing is big. It's way bigger than I thought. Also got the the new foot pedals installed. And today we are gonna be ripping apart this here trailer. Take the wheels off, we're gonna lube up all the bearings, and we're going to take all the stuff on the top off. That's gonna get redone. We also got a lot of stuff hammered out with the with our mount for the trolling motor back here. There was a lot of measuring and remeasuring and measuring again. Design work on the computer. I was on the phone with my brother a lot, trying to get everything put together so we can get it printed and test it and see how it works. And then we can go from there to make some adjustments if we need to. It's my part now to start tearing this thing apart and getting it all nice and putting it back together. Let's go. Come check this out. This is never a good thing to find. So I'm taking apart these wheel hubs, cleaning them up, and see that I have gotten some water intrusion in there. These hubs are a mess. They're old. And look at that. Ugh, that thing is shot. So I'm gonna get the other one off and get cracking on finding some parts, see if I can order them or get some replacement hubs. We are finalizing this trailer. Yesterday was kind of more or less, I didn't do any videos because it's all tedious stuff. Painting, sanding, cutting, measuring. Everything's done, everything's painted, everything's dried. Almost everything is here. The only thing that I'm missing is my wheel hubs. I needed to buy some new ones. The other ones I had were totally shot. I tried to save them. It was just no good. These are my new bunks. We went with PVC. We had wood before. We got the battery in there, we got it charged, we got the wires ready to go to hook up. We've got the new rims. Now we have all of our hardware and all of our other PVC pieces that we're gonna put on last. I decided to not put those on yet, so it's easier to get to the bolts and easier to move this around and to make sure that my angle pieces are actually straight once these get hooked on. No more talking, let's get to working. Yes, the hubs are finally here. Thanks, E-Trailer. What's up, everybody? We're down here at the lake. Right here, we're going to test out this new motor that I got here. The new Garmin Force Current trolling motor. I opted with the foot pedals. This thing is sweet. Comes with two props. This one's the weedless prop. Definitely need this down here in Florida. Remote, pedals. This thing is amazing. We're gonna get it hooked up on the boat. We're gonna launch it. We're gonna test it out. One thing I did want to mention before I get out there and get everything hooked up. So when I started doing this, we realized that there was really no motor mounts for a Jackson Big Rig for the stern of the boat here. So we had one made and I think it turned out pretty good. You can see here, we've got it all across here. It's sticking out here, and this is the motor mount here for the motor itself. Works great. Fits perfect. If any of you out there have a big rig and you want to have a stern mounted motor and you're having a hard time finding stuff, hit me up. I have the design, I have the plans. But it turned out awesome. It's in a perfect spot. Let's get this thing mounted and try it. I didn't bring no fishing rods with me. We're just out here trying this motor out, seeing what it could do, see how fast it is, see how the turning is, see how touchy these pedals are. From everything that I was reading and seeing, that these pedals are super touchy. All right, I got everything hooked up. Let me do a quick walk around so you can see what I did, how I hooked everything up, how everything's mounted. It's really pretty straightforward from the factory. Everything's Bluetooth. These are the pedal mounts here. I opted to put them on the rail here, and the pedals just bolt right onto it. They slide back and forth here, so you can put them in any kind of position that you want. They also have these little notches. I don't know if you can see them right here, so you could set them up exactly how you want them on both sides. There's no guessing there. What's really neat too is they got these arms that push down on here to help keep this steady when you're pushing on this here. So we're gonna see how these things work. Really awesome. So, in the back, it's pretty. I think it looks great. Looks like a shark fin. Huh, that's pretty cool. Definitely different. Very different from what's on the market now. And we have our rope to pull the motor up and down. And I have that feeding all the way this way and mounted it right next to the chair right here. Super simple. Grab it. Comes right up. No problem. You want to lock it into place. It's got these cleats here that lock right in, and it stays right there. Very cool. Super simple. Another cool feature that this boat has is you have a man overboard tag here. So if you fall off this thing while it's moving, it'll stop. Then you can swim back to it. So another really cool thing about this motor is that you could run it with a 12 volt or a 24 volt battery. I opted for 24 volts. So I got a 24 volt, 100 amp hour battery in here. So I should get the full thrust of 55 pounds, where a 12 volt battery will get you 30 pounds. So this thing should fly. Let's drop this thing. So I got everything calibrated already on here. Just going around in a bunch of circles and whatnot. So now we're gonna play around with the remote. And let's go. Let's turn it up. Let's start cruising. I'm at 10. Whoa. It gets up and goes quickly. I think I'm only at like half speed right now. This goes up to 20 and I'm at 10, and I'm moving this heavy kayak at 3.5 miles an hour. That doesn't really seem all that fast, but for kayaks, it's about average, it seems like. Get up to over 5, not much over 5. I'm sure there's other guys that have it. Their setups going much faster. But the way this boat is designed, I would be shocked to see if it makes it over 5 miles an hour. But we're gonna try. Okay, let's see how she turns. Just doing a donut. This thing's amazing. Let's crank it up all the way. They have a button on here that it's the turbo button. Double tap, turbo. Whoa. 5.4 miles an hour. 5.5. That is outstanding. This just right here for me is an absolute game changer. just the speed. The speed is amazing. At least for me it is. I've never gone this fast in this boat. Just to put it in perspective, with my other motor, with a 12-volt battery, with the wind at my back, and using my paddles at the same time, really pushing, I could get to about 4 miles an hour, maybe. I'm just sitting here and I'm doing 5.5 miles an hour. That is just absurd. Another really cool feature on this right here, see if I can show you, is this M button. It's a manual button. So if you push the manual button and you point to where you want to go, that's where it'll turn. So let's see. Pushing in, beep, whoa. I'll turn it that way. And she's turning. This is so cool. Let's turn the prop off. And we're gonna try the spot lock. So we're gonna hit the anchor button on here. Anchor lock. Whoa, it's pulling me back. This is another thing that I'd be fighting all the time, even with a shallow water anchor. Wind. Staying in one spot and trying to fish it out in a kayak, as you know, is pretty tough, especially if there's any wind at all. And then you gotta move in and out because it's pushing you all over the place. Man, having an anchor lock is, again, game changer for me. The only thing that I gotta say that I don't like about the anchor lock, but I mean, that's kind of what you get with a stern mounted trolling motor, is that if the wind is coming from whatever direction, the front of your boat is gonna be pointed downwind. It makes it a little harder to fish upwind, so you have to play with your positioning with it. That's it. That's not Garmin's fault. That's just the design of the motor. The bow mounted trolling motors, you know, they'll stay the anchor lock, but then they'll point the nose of your boat into the wind. This one is the opposite. So you just have to play around with it. To me, not a deal breaker. I can deal with that. What else we got? So we're gonna turn the anchor off. I don't know what this is. What is this button? A heading hold. Oh, that's cool. It is going straight where I want it to. Manual. Now let's see how these pedals are. These pedals have some really neat features on them too. Let me flip this camera around so you can see. So let's see with these pedals. You rock them forward to go forward, obviously. Do them at the same time. Oh, geez, holy moly. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way. Outstanding. I wanna turn a little bit to the left. Oh no, that's going to the right. So we'll back off on this one. Wow, push forward. Now there's two different configurations with these pedals. I have it set up in the rudder configuration. If I push down on the left pedal, it's gonna turn left. If I push down on the right pedal, it's gonna turn right. This is not the default configuration. The default configuration is the opposite. So if you wanted to turn like a rudder, you'll have to change that in your configurations. There are some other features on here. They have these paddles on the sides right here. This one is set up for anchor lock, and this one is set up for heading hold. Let's move forward a little bit. Let's find a spot. God, these are really touchy. So they get a little, you gotta get a little used to it. All right, so we're gonna stop here. We're gonna cruise a little bit. Now I'm gonna shift this. And there it goes, anchor lock. That is really cool. So we're gonna take it off. Now we're back in manual. I gotta adjust these pedals a little bit, get them a little closer. I'm not very tall. Okay, we're cruising now. What is this? Heading hold, yep. So now I could just sit here. It's keeping me on my heading. What's really nice about the heading hold feature is that if I'm going from one spot to another, that's a little bit of a ways away, and I need to re-rig something, or I want to change out my baits, or I have to retie, you know, I could just set up the heading hold. I want to go that way. I point the boat in that direction. I click on that button right there, and it will go in that direction. It will not deviate. It won't stray to the right, stray to the left. You know, how many times have you tried to re-rig something and you're looking down, tying a knot, next thing you know, you look up and you're 100 yards in the wrong direction, or even better, you're just spinning in circles. That's my favorite one. A wake. I have never seen this boat throw a wake before, ever. This thing also does a lot of really cool stuff. If you have a Garmin chart plotter, you could actually set up waypoints on your chart plotter and connect it via its own Wi-Fi, because that's the only way that you can update things on the trolling motor, the pedals, the remote, is through its Wi-Fi. So you can connect your Wi-Fi to your chart plotter. You could add waypoints to your chart plotter, and it will go to those waypoints if you choose to. This is no joke. I cannot wait to try this in a tournament. We got the boat off the water. We got everything calibrated. We got it tested. God, I gotta say, I'm thoroughly impressed and super pumped to try this thing out in a tournament situation, even just fishing in general, man. Like, I didn't bring no fishing stuff with me today. I just wanted to try the motor, get it all calibrated, and see how it works. I wanted to test this mount because we didn't really even know how it was going to work. Held up great. I have zero complaints about it. I mean, this thing is outstanding. Garmin, my hat's off to you. This thing is crazy. And the price point kind of shows it. However, with the price, you get, like anything else, you get what you pay for. You're paying for a premium product. I'm not sponsored by Garmin or anything, but man, I'm here to tell you that this motor is worth every single penny. I'll give you an update when I start using it more and more in different situations to see, especially because it's a really calm day today. There's no wind, very little wind. The water has no chop to it at all. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that's probably max speed that I could get out of this thing is about 5.5 miles an hour, unless I have a really strong wind to my back. But I mean, if I could go any faster than that, that's cool, but I'm happy with 5.5. That's amazing. So I hope this video was helpful to y'all, especially the guys that are out there that have a big rig. If anyone needs any help, especially with this motor mount here, go ahead and hit me up. If you liked what I did and you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and let me know. Also, like, subscribe, share the video with a buddy that you know has one of these kayaks so they could see how we can rig them up. And I'll see y'all in the next video.